a shot at winning the game. All right, Shannon, do you agree?
No. Tyler Boyd, is that you? Is that T. Higgins or Jamar Chase? Which one of them said
that
this?
That was a little odd to me.
Did you say that? Because normally, if you say that, you want to be on the record. You want to be on the record, Skip. Somebody from
those guys would want to be on the record.
Yes.
I don't know why it'd be anonymous.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think it's Patrick Mahomes, and I don't think it's close. You look at what he's done in the playoffs. You see he was down 24 to the Houston Texans. We saw he was down by 10 to the Tennessee Titans and come back. We see he was down. What he did to Buffalo last year, and he did it in such a fashion, the NFL changed the rules to require everybody to touch the ball in overtime. Come on, Skip. That's all Patrick Mahomes. 13 seconds, go get him in field goal range and then get the ball in overtime and take it right down the field. But this is why Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is 13-10, Skip, when trailing by at least 10 points. That's a .565 winning percentage. That's the best all time and no one's close. Joe Burrow, in the same scenario, is 5-13. That's a .278. The GOAT, Tom Brady, is 42-68. That's a .382 winning percentage. Patrick Mahomes is the only quarterback that's 500 or better when trailing by 10 points. And he did it, Skip, in the Super Bowl midway through the fourth quarter. Can you get any bigger than that? No, you can't. He did that. Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, 2 fourth quarter comebacks. Joe Burrow, none. So, Skip, I get it. I'm not trying to take anything for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is unbelievable. But it's almost like we just forgot just how great, because he's been doing it for so long. Skip, do you realize he's 1 win away in the playoffs from going to his 5th straight AFC Championship game? That's what Patrick Mahomes. 1 win away, 5 straight.
Yep, I give you that. But we're only talking about fourth quarters, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Quick point on that Super Bowl that he was so great in at the end of the game. He did throw a late third quarter interception and turned right around and threw an early fourth quarter interception and managed to climb out of it because Jimmy G kept throwing the ball back to the Kansas City.
Was he down by 10? Midway through the fourth, was he down by 10?
He was.
Okay.
All right. I got 2 issues operating here. The first one is Joe Burrow, to me, has proven in a short time to be a little more clutch than Patrick Mahomes against Patrick Mahomes because he beat him all 3 times.
Right.
And this year, because I'm talking about right here, right now.
Right.
If we want to start going back in time, there's that guy down in Tampa, and you're not going to be able to compete if I start dredging up all the things that he's done.
But right now.
Okay. All right. Okay. Right now, let's start with the game. This is Kansas City at Cincinnati this year.
Yes.
In the fourth quarter, I can just show you the numbers. Joe Burrow outplayed Patrick Mahomes because he threw for 80 yards in the fourth quarter to 45 for Patrick. And I'm not saying Patrick played poorly because he did not. He just got burrowed at Cincinnati because Joe Burrow beat him for a 3rd time. And remember the play at the end of the game. Let me pull it out here. It's 3rd and 11 at the Kansas City 28. And I'm thinking, well, just go ahead and take the field goal, but you're going to give Mahomes the ball back.
Right.
And he's going to have a shot at you.
Right.
And what did he do? Well, speaking of T. Higgins, if we could see this play, this is 3rd and 11 at the 28. And he just goes for it, and he gets hit and throws a tight window throw to T. Higgins. And this is a big-time clutch throw to me. And that ended the football game because that allowed them to kneel because that went for 14 yards
right.
and a first down on 3rd and 11. Okay, meanwhile, back at the ranch, this year, if we're just talking about this year, Patrick Mahomes, what happened at Indianapolis? Indianapolis is a bad football team, even though they had their moments. But how did the game end? Well, you got to win this one. You were able to dodge this and go on and capture the 1 seed. But if we could see the last throw at Indianapolis is Patrick Mahomes. You can see where the field goal line is. That's for a field goal. And it's a little bit of a careless, casual throw, and it gets tipped up into an interception. So he ends the game with an unclutched throw that's an interception. Stephon Gilmore gets a hand on it, and it gets popped up in the air, and that is the end of that story. Then you got a home game against Buffalo, your arch rival, Josh Allen. And how did that game end? I'll show you how it ended with yet another, I thought, a little bit like messy, awkward footwork and a little sidearm throw that was a bad idea, and it gets picked. And you ended a game that you could have won by throwing it to the Bills.
But guess what, Skip?
Okay.
But also in the fourth quarter this year, he came back and beat the Chargers. Also in the fourth quarter this year, he came back and beat the Raiders.
Yep.
Also in the fourth quarter, he came back. So he has like 4 fourth quarter come from behind this year. He's 14-3. What I mean, what, and we keep going back, and this anonymous player said, I would say he's the best quarterback, Joe. He doesn't get flustered at all, honestly. If the left guard doesn't get beat by Aaron Donald in the final minutes of the Super Bowl, I think they win. How many times in the history of the game have we ever said, if this didn't happen, that would have happened?
Yeah.
It's easy to say that.
I did think he had a shot, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. All right, so now in the biggest picture, there is still that guy who's 45 down in Tampa. And this is just me. If my life is on the line right here, right now, I'm just telling you, I want the ball in his hands. If my life and the game is on the line with 2 minutes left, I want the ball in his hands because he is still the best at that kind of situation. Maybe it's not the entire fourth quarter that we're talking about, but I'm talking about late game, close game, clutch game. I want him to do it.
Well, have you ever seen anybody do what he did against Buffalo? Have we ever seen anybody do what Patrick Mahomes did against Buffalo? Okay. And remember his first AFC Championship game against Tom Brady, Skip. Brady took the lead. He had to go down for like 50 yards and get in field goal range.
It was good.
And the only difference, Brady got the ball in overtime, and he never saw it.
But he had to convert 3 straight 3rd and 10s. Yeah. That's never happened before.
Yeah.
3rd and 10s, it's impossible.
But I think the thing in the situation, I think it's easier in the fourth down because, like, you know now, Skip, you know what you're up against. You know if I don't score here, that's Patrick Mahomes. I just watched him go right down the field. His last 3 possessions, he went touchdown, field goal.
Okay, I got it. I still say the closest thing I see of the young quarterbacks to Brady in sort of style of play, in the way they operate at quarterback, is Joe Burrow. But I still say, if you look at body of work, late game, close game work this year.
It's not even close to Patrick Mahomes.
Boy,
Skip, it's not close.
Do you remember this? You can bash all you want on what happened in all the other games and other quarters, but think about what he did. He had no chance against New Orleans the first 4 times he played him. He got embarrassed by New Orleans. Yeah. So he goes down there in week 2, and it's a 3-all game, midway fourth quarter. And he goes on an 80-yard, 9-play drive and then hits Bashard Perriman, who then got hurt, and he was gone for the rest of the year. But he hit him with the 28-yard. Remember, he threw it across the field back to the far corner of the end zone.
Oh, so you want Brady? So you done left Joe Burrow. You can't.
Well, I'm just saying. The guy who still does it at the highest level is number 12 down in Tampa.
No, Skip, no, you can't say that because we saw against Pittsburgh, he didn't come through. We've seen it so many times this year.
But look at all the times he did come through because
this year.
Yeah, this year. Green Bay. Do you remember what happened?
They lost.
He goes last 3 minutes. He goes 89 yards in 13 plays to give them a chance to go for 2 and tie.
Skip, no, Skip. The reason, you got to win it. You can't give yourself a chance. You got to win it. So against Pittsburgh, he came up short. Against Green Bay, he came up short.
All right. Against the Rams, he did not come up short because they were still the Rams at that point. They had Aaron Donald and they had J. Ram. And who
was the quarterback? Tell them who the quarterback was.
Okay. Well, in that game?
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember who the quarterback was.
Exactly.
Okay. Was it
Perkins,
Matthew Stafford?
I think it was Perkins.
I don't even remember. But the point was, with 44 seconds left against that defense that had won the Super Bowl the year before, 44 seconds left, he goes 60 yards in 6 plays to win it 16-13. And then against New Orleans, again, it's a defense that is very difficult to deal with, especially for him. He's down 16-3 with 5 minutes left, and he goes 91-10. Then they get the ball back, and he goes 63-11 to win it 17.